Title: Learning English with Hal, talking about public transportation in America. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learning English with Hal, the podcast where we dive into English conversations and everyday language, making it easy and fun for you to follow along. Today's topic is public transportation in America. If you're new here in the States, or even if you've lived here for a while, public transportation can feel a bit overwhelming. We'll go through some useful vocabulary and real-life situations you might encounter. So grab your notepad if you'd like, and let's jump right in. Script. All right, imagine you've just landed in New York City. It's a busy place with so many people rushing around, and you decide you want to take the subway to get to your hotel. Where do you start? So the first thing you might hear someone say is, "Are you taking the subway or a bus?" These are the two most common forms of public transportation in big cities like New York, Chicago, and Boston. The subway is the underground train, and the bus runs on the streets. Let's imagine a situation. Say you're asking someone for help. You might say, "Excuse me, how do I get to Times Square by subway?" If they're giving you directions, they might say, "Take the 1 train uptown," or "Catch the A train going downtown." So let's break that down. In American cities, subways are organized by lines. You'll hear them referred to by letters or numbers, like the A train, the B train, or the 1 train. These lines go in different directions. Uptown usually means you're going north, and downtown means you're headed south. You'll need to know which direction you're going so you don't end up on the wrong train. Here's another helpful phrase. "Excuse me, is this train going downtown?" That way, if you're not sure, you can double check with other passengers. Now, if you're in a smaller city or a more suburban area, buses are more common than subways. For buses, you'll usually see signs at each bus stop listing all the stops along that route. You might also see people using their phones to track when the bus will arrive. You can ask, "Does this bus go to Main Street?" Or if you're at the bus stop, you might say, "How long until the next bus?" Let's go over a couple more terms you might hear in these situations. Transfer is a big one. In the US, a transfer means switching from one train or bus to another during a single trip. For example, you might have to take one subway line part of the way and then transfer to another line. Someone might tell you you'll need to transfer to the red line at Park Street. And another term, fare. This is the amount of money you pay for your trip. Most cities have what's called a fare card or transit card. You can load money onto it and then just tap it each time you enter the bus or subway. You might ask, "How much is the fare?" Or "Where can I buy a transit card?" Let's put it all together with a quick example. Imagine you're in a conversation asking for directions. "Excuse me, I'm trying to get to the Brooklyn Bridge. How do I get there on the subway?" Someone might reply, "You'll take the 4 train downtown, then transfer to the A train at Fulton Street." And you might say, "Thank you. How much is the fare?" They could reply, "It's $2.75. You can use your Metro card." That's it. You're ready to go. All right, that's a wrap for today's episode of Learning English with Hal. Today, we talked about how to get around using public transportation, including the subway, buses, and some useful vocabulary. I hope this was helpful and makes you feel more confident navigating around in the U.S. Remember, don't be afraid to ask people for help. Most Americans are friendly and happy to give directions. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this episode, please share it with other English learners and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Stay tuned for more practical conversations, and until next time, happy learning and safe travels.